Welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'll be teaching us how to cut a 180 degrees flare, a 360 degrees flare, a 720 degrees flare, and a 1440 degrees flare. So in cutting a 180 degrees flare, we use a measurement of 16 inches and a length of 3 inches. For 180 degrees flare, we divide our measurement by 3.14. And then when that's been done, we'll have 5.09, approximately 5.1. Then we'll add the length of our flare, which is 3 inches. I have 8.1. Now we're going to cut out the material we need. We'll cut out, multiply 8.1 by 2, which will give us 16.2. Now we're going to cut out a breadth of 16.2 and a length of 8.1. This will help us to save our fabric. We measure out the breadth and the length. So this is a breadth of 16.2 and a length of 8.1. And we'll start folding. We'll fold the breadth into two and then the length. Now fold the length like so, in a triangular form, in a triangular shape, as you can see me doing. Then from that end, we'll mark our 5.1, which is our initial radius. What we got earlier, we'll mark 5.1 like so. Then we'll mark our 3 inches for the length. I'm going to mark it around, following the measurements, the marks we made earlier for the 5.1. So I'm going to connect the line and add half an inch for joining allowance on top and beneath it. Cut it out. So guys, our 180 degrees flare is ready, and if you measure it around, you will notice it's that same 16 inches. That's our actual measurement, which is 16 inches. So our 180 degree flare is ready. Then the next one is the 360 degrees flare, also known as a full circle. The 180 degrees for half circle, this one is for full circle, 360 degrees flare. Now use our measurement and divide it by 6.28. That's for 360 degrees flare for a full circle. I'll divide our 16 inches by 6.28. We have 2.547, which is 2.6 approximately. Now multiply this 2.6 by 2 to enable us cut out what's our full circle. And don't forget to add your 3 inches for the length. Now 5.6, that is 2.6 plus the length, which will give us 5.6. Multiply it by 2, we have 11.2. So we're going to cut out a square 11.2. The length and the width is both 11.2. And we'll fold it, the first fold, as you can see. Pay attention to the folding, it's different from the previous one. Fold it into two. We have two sides closed and two other sides open. As you can see, this place is closed, but this one is open. Two opposite sides, two sides closed and the opposites opened. So from this end, the closed sides, we'll start marking our 2.6. Mark the 2.6 all round and the 3 inches also. And then our allowances as we did in the previous one, and cut it out. Remember to add your allowances, your 5 ½ inch allowance for joining and for turning it with an interfacing, or hemming it if you're not going to add an interfacing. Then the next is to cut 720 degrees flay or peplum, whatever you call it in your own understanding. So we're going to divide 16 by 2, which is our measurement, to give us 8. 720 degrees is 360 plus 360, give us 720. So we're going to cut out 2 full circles for our 720 degrees. But before then, make sure you divide your measurement, the measurement you're using, by 2. Then whatever you get, use it to divide 6.28. You use 6.28 to divide whatever you get. Your actual measurement, you divide it by 2. Then your answer, you divide it by 6.28. Whatever you get there, you use it to cut 2 circles, 2 full circles for your 720 degrees flay. So what we have here is 1.27, and we approximated it to 1.3 inches. Then we'll multiply it by 2. Remember I said we'll cut out 2 full circles. So we're going to use the radius of 1.3 to cut out 2 full circles. We'll now add our length of 3 inches to the 1.3, which will give us 4.3 inches. Then we have 4.3. We're going to multiply that 4.3 by 4 inches, by 4, sorry, because we are going to be cutting out the 2 pieces together. So we'll mark 4.3 by 4, and the length will be 4.3 by 2, the breadth 4.3 by 4, and the length 4.3 by 2. So you measure out what you get, whatever you get as the breadth and whatever you get for the length. Fold it into 2 as I'm folding it. Then you fold it again, the second one. There. And are going to fold the third fold, as you can see me doing. So we'll now mark our initial measurement of 1.3 all round, then our length of 3 inches all round, and then our allowances. So after cutting out, I have 2 full circles, as you can see. And when you cut it into 2, then you join both sides using ½ inch. If it's a peplum you're cutting for, make sure you add the zipper allowance to your main measurement. Make sure you add your zipper allowance so that you will not, after cutting, you will run short of the fabric. So our 720 degrees flay is ready. Then the next thing to cut is 1440 degrees flay. We divided 720 by 2. I'm now going to cut out 1440 degrees flay, and we'll divide it by 4. We divide our measurements by 4, 16 divided by 4, because it's 360 plus 360 plus 360 plus 360, that's 360 into 4, a full circle into 4. So we'll divide it, our full length, our length into 4. Whatever we get, we'll still divide it by the radius of, for the full circle, divided by 6.28. Whatever you get, you do it normally as you did the previous flays. Make sure you add your length, you add the four circles together, your 1440 degrees flay is ready. Then you divide by 6.28. You add the required you add your required allowances, your half-inch allowance for joining and for hemming. So guys, this is all for today's lesson. I hope it's useful. I hope it's helpful. And if you've watched today's moment and you're yet to subscribe, please consider subscribing. Please, please, I'm begging you, consider subscribing. Like and comment. Tell me whatever I'm doing that is wrong, and I will step up. Or whichever tutorial you want me to put up next, I will be able to work on it. Okay, guys. I hope this tutorial is helpful. So if you're having problems with cutting a 180 degrees flare, 360 degrees flare, a 720 degrees flare, and a 1440 degrees flare, I hope I satisfy whatever you're looking for. So guys, don't forget to subscribe if you're here to subscribe, like and comment, and see you guys in my next video. Bye.